Hello everyone. In continuation with the Laplace transform, we'll be dealing here with a very special function which is known as Dirac delta function. Dirac delta function in mathematics, the Dirac delta function that is a generalized function or distribution introduced by physicist Paul Dirac from 1902 to 1984. It is used to model the density of an idealized point mass or point charge as a function equal to zero everywhere, except for zero and whose integral over the entire real line is equal to 1. As there is no function that has these properties, the computations made by theoretical physicists appeared to mathematicians as nonsense until the introduction of distributions by Lorentz squads to formalize and validate the computations. As a distribution, the Dirac delta function is a linear function that maps every function to its value at 0. The Kronecker delta function, which is usually defined on discrete random and takes values from 0 and 1, is a discrete analog of Dirac delta function. In engineering and signal processing, the delta function, also known as the unit impulse symbol, may be regarded through its Laplace transform as coming from the boundary value of complex analytic function of complex variable. The formal rules obeyed by this function are part of operational calculus, a standard toolkit of physicists and engineering. In many applications, the Dirac delta is regarded as a kind of limit, a weak limit of a sequence of functions having a tall spike at the origin. In the theory of distributions, this is true limit. So we will start with the Dirac delta function after the introduction. We'll start it along with this. So by the end of the session, you'll be able to define Dirac's delta function, find the Laplace transform of unit impulse function. So this Dirac delta function is also known as uh, unit impulse function. So the definition says that consider the function f of t, where f of t is equals to 1 by t. This 1 by t is from the function from the point minus t by 2 to less than t is less than t by 2, and it is 0 otherwise. So if you'll observe the graph of this function is looking something like this. Looking something like this. That is, this x-axis is from minus t by 2 to t by 2, and the height of this particular is 1 by t. Okay, so you can say the y f of t is 1 by t, and the range is from minus t by 2 to t by 2. Now the width of this function is t, because it's minus t by 2 to t by 2, and its amplitude is 1 by t. So amplitude, that is this height, is amplitude is 1 by t. Hence the area of this function is 1 unit. You can see that this is the rectangle, and the area of this rectangle is 1 unit. As t is tending to 0, the function becomes a delta function or a unit impulse function. So this delta function is also known as unit impulse function. Okay, and this is nothing but a limiting case. You can say the limiting case of this function f of t is the delta function. So limiting case as in limit of f of t as t tending to 0 is equals to delta t. Okay, now Dirac's delta or unit impulse function has 0 amplitude everywhere except at t equals to 0. At t equals to 0, the amplitude of the function is indefinitely large such that the area under its curve is equal to 1 unit. And this is what is the unit impulse function will look like. The graph of unit function will look like as this. Now as this is at t equals to 0, at t equals to 0, this is the point t equals to 0 here. This is the point t equals to 0, and this is the unit, or you can say that is unit of 1 unit. The height of this curve is of 1 unit, and therefore this delta t, this function is defined as delta t equals to 0 for t not equals to 0, and thus integration from minus infinity to infinity, delta t dt is equals to 1 when the t is equals to 0. When t becomes 0, at t equals to 0, the value of this integration from minus infinity to infinity, delta t dt is equals to 1. Okay, as we have seen in the previous session that of unit step function, we do have it here, the displayed or delayed delta function or impulse function, unit impulse function, and is known as delta t minus a, represents the function delta t which is displaced by a distance small a to the right. And if you observe the similarly, what is the change? The change is here t minus a. So delta t minus a is equals to 0, t naught equals to 0, and limit, or you can say the integration minus infinity to infinity, delta of t minus a, dt is equals to 1 at t equals to a. So you can observe the change in the previous definition and this one, as we have got it here t equals to a because it's a displayed or delayed by a unit, by t as t equals to a unit. Okay, and this is what is the graph 0 to, this is the t equals to 0, t equals to a, and t equals to a, the value of this is going to be equals to 1, right? And this is known as delayed unit impulse function. So now I have listed here few properties, so which will be very useful for you whenever you will be applying this Dirac delta function in real life scenarios or any kind of projects. So it's properties of unit impulse function. I'm just listing it out. I'm not going to discuss about this. You can just have a look at this. It is integration minus infinity to infinity. F of t delta t dt is f of 0. Integration from 0 to infinity, f of t delta t equals dt is equals to f of 0. So we'll be using this property. Then integration from minus infinity to infinity, f of t delta t minus a dt is equals to f of a. And we'll be using this one to find out the Laplace transforms. So if you'll observe, this is 0 to infinity, f of t delta t minus a dt is equals to f of t. So now this, if you observe the limit here, it is 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, right? So we'll be using these two properties to find out the Laplace delta, Dirac delta function, or just delta function. Okay, Laplace transform of unit impulse function. So Laplace transform of delta t, we have defined already this delta t as this, delta t is 0, t not equals to 0, and integration from minus infinity to infinity, delta t dt is equals to 1, t is equals to 0. Now Laplace transform of delta t, just we have to apply the integration from 0 to infinity e to the power minus st, delta t dt is equals to, now if you'll observe, this value of this delta t is equals to 1 from minus infinity to infinity. Now we have seen this property, in the previous case. So what is this? This is nothing but delta t, the value of delta t is equals to 1 unit here. And therefore this is getting replaced as 1, and integration of e to the power minus st, right? So integration of minus st, so this is what is the value of e to the power minus st at t equals to 0. So therefore we have got the value of this function. This function is equals to 1 because it's integration from 0 to infinity delta t dt, and this is e to the power minus st upon this at t equals to 0, and t equals to 0, if I'll put the value of t equals to 0 in this, I'll be getting as 1. Okay. Similarly, the Laplace transform of delta t minus 1, this is the definition of the delta t minus 1 function, and we'll be applying the Laplace transform here, 0 to infinity e to the power minus st delta t minus 1 dt. Again, it is e to the power minus st. If you'll observe, this value of here is 1, and e to the power minus st, t equals to a. At t equals to a, the value becomes e to the power minus of as. Value becomes e to the power minus of as. So you have to note it down, these steps. The steps, that is Laplace of delta t minus a, Laplace of delta t is 1, Laplace of delta t minus a is e to the power minus as. Now let us solve what will happen if I have got f of t along with this delta t minus a. So this is what is the definition. F of t delta t minus a is equals to 0 for t not equals to a, and it is integration minus infinity to infinity, f of t delta t minus a dt is equals to f of a, t equals to a. And this is the just by the definition of a Laplace transform. And if you'll observe, the definition of a Laplace transform will give me, and along with this is my f of a here, right, delta. So this is f of t into delta t minus a is equals to, and therefore we'll be just putting this value here, and therefore it's e to the power minus st f of t t minus a, and therefore it is e to the power minus as f of e, e to the power minus as into f of e, right? Because I'm replacing this t by my a here, and this is nothing but the value. Or you can say that here it has been given minus infinity to infinity f of t delta t minus a dt is equals to f of a, and therefore I have got this integration from 0 to infinity f of t delta t minus a will give me f of a, and that is what they have just replaced at that. So you can just skip this in between step also to reach to this particular point, and we are doing this entire thing using the properties previous page property or previous slide properties to prove this Laplace transform of unit impulse function. Now the next question is, find the Laplace transform of sine of 2t delta t minus pi by 4 minus t square delta t minus 2. So this is what we have seen in the last slides here. That is Laplace of f of t delta t minus a is equals to e to the power minus a is f of t, and therefore Laplace. So what is this f of t here? So if you observe this f of t, this f of t here is what is it? It is sine 2t delta t minus pi by 4 minus t square delta t minus 2. So this is my, so in this here, except this delta t minus a, I have got this as f of t here in the first term, and second term I have got my t square as the f of t. So what? How can I do that? It's e to the power minus as. What is the value of a in the first? So value of a in the first case is, so value of the first case. Just a minute. I'll just erase this out. Okay, so this is what is the value of small a in the first step. Value of small a in the second function is this 2. So therefore, it is e to the power minus pi s by 4. That is, you can say that e to the power minus s into pi by 4, because my e to the power as, right, into sine of 2 times pi by 4. What is it? It is f of a. What is f of a here? In the first step, f of a is equals to sine of 2t, right? And the value of this a in this first case is pi by 4, and therefore it will come as sine of 2 pi by 4. Similarly, for the second function here, f of a is equals to t square. If f of a is equals to t square and the value of a in the second term, it is value of a in the second term is 2, and therefore it is 2 square. T has been replaced as a. T has been replaced as a. So e to the power minus 2 is 2 square. And therefore, just by simplification, sine pi by 2, because it's 2 times pi by 4, this will be pi by 2. And we will get the answer as e to the power minus pi s by 4 minus 4 into e to the power minus 2s. Let us go for one more where I have decided to take one more example for this u of t minus 2, that is a unit step function. So this is what is the from the previous example also. It is, we are just applying the Laplace transform. So I've just given you the formula. Laplace of f of t u of t minus a is e to the power minus a is Laplace of f of t plus a. So we'll be using this property. So let us first identify what is f of a here. So in the first case, f of a, so I'm just talking about my first term here. In this term, I've got my f of a is equals to t square, and the value of a is equals to 2. Now let us talk about the second term. What is the second term? Second term is this here. The f of a, sorry, it's f of t here, and this is f of t here is cos hyperbolic t, where the value of a is equals to 2. Right, so both the cases the value of a is equals to 2, but the application would be different, because in the first step, term we have got unit step function, and in the second step we have got a delta. I just wanted to show you the difference. That is why I have taken one example, which is the combination of unit step function and the delta function. So Laplace of t square u of t minus 2 minus Laplace of cos hyperbolic t delta t minus 2. And now, as I have told you, this is f of t, and the working of this Laplace of f of t into u of t minus a is equals to e to the power minus as into Laplace of f of t plus a. And therefore, it is e to the power minus 2s is come out of this Laplace because of the application of Laplace along with the unit step function, and into Laplace of t plus 2 the square, because in the first case, first I have got t square as the function. So t has been replaced as t plus 2 the square. And the second step, sorry, in the second function, it is cos hyperbolic t, but it is along with this cos hyperbolic t, we have got delta t minus 2. And this working is e to the power minus as f of a. So this cos of hyperbolic a, that is cos of hyperbolic 2. So this is what is cos hyperbolic 2, which is a constant with respect to t. And therefore, with respect to s, right, because we are working here with the Laplace. And therefore, we have to just go ahead. Now, this in between step, what would be the step over here in between? What would be this? So Laplace of t plus 2 the whole square. So which is equals to, so Laplace of, which is equals to Laplace of t square plus 4t plus 4. And then we'll be applying Laplace of t square. Laplace of t square is 2 factorial upon s cube plus 4, Laplace of 4t is equals to 4t equals to 4 divided by s square, which because the Laplace of t is equals to 1 upon s square, and this 4 Laplace of 4 is 1 upon s, which is 4, sorry, 4 by s, and this is what is the in between step in here. T plus 2 the whole square, a plus b the whole square is t square plus 4t plus 4, and individually Laplace according to the linearity property, Laplace L operator will go with each and every term, and will take out the Laplace of as 2 upon s cube, 4 plus 4 upon s square plus 4 upon s minus this e to the power minus 2s. So e to the power minus 2s, after taking it out, we can simplify our answer as this. Very important functions as unit step function as the Dirac delta function. Yes, and come back to the self-observation, or you can say the self-assessment slide, where I've given you the combination here. It's a sine 2t delta t minus 2, t e to the power minus 2t delta t minus 2, e to the power t sine t by t delta t minus 3. And unit step function I had not given you here and in the self-observation, because I would like you all to go ahead with this delta function and solve the examples based on this. I hope you have understood this delta Dirac delta function or unit impulse function. You can easily find out the applications, and you can just go ahead with your projects or mini projects kind of thing. Thank you. Happy learning.